Hi, this is Troy Rank for Denver 7. The draft, it's getting closer. And the quarterback intrigue, well, it's getting just more curious by the day. The Jets, they traded Sam Darnold to the Panthers for 3 draft picks. Does that mean the Panthers are now officially out on a draft pick at 8 at quarterback? It appears that way. They like Deshaun Watson. Everything is on hold right now with Deshaun Watson until there's clarity in his legal issues off the field. But now the Broncos, will they have a quarterback available to them at 9, like Justin Fields, maybe Trey Lance? Perhaps. I wrote about today on thedenverchannel.com, though, what if there is no quarterback? There's still 5 gone by the time the Broncos take the pick at 9, and they stay there. So for this exercise, let's go down that list. For them, Micah Parsons, probably the best defensive player on the board, depending on how you view the cornerbacks. So Parsons from Penn State, he's a big guy who can run sideline to sideline. He's big enough to be an edge rusher. He's fast enough to play in coverage. He could fit in a multiple of ways in Vic Fangio's defense. He had some off-field issues with hazing at Penn State. You would have to vet that. Would that mean the Broncos wouldn't take him? I don't think so, but we don't know until they turn that draft card in. What about a linebacker like Notre Dame's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah? He is certainly a possibility in the first round. 9, it feels like a reach. He's a guy that hybrid, that positionless player. That can be a huge advantage that he's a safety playing linebacker who can cover in tight space, or it can mean he doesn't have a position. You saw that with Isaiah Simmons last year with the Cardinals. Sometimes you fall between the cracks. Are you a linebacker or are you a safety? But again, the Notre Dame linebacker could help in coverage. He's an interesting name, especially if the Broncos were to trade back. What about a tackle like Penei Sewell? Sewell could be there. Again, if 5 quarterbacks go in the top 8, it's not crazy to think he's available at 9, especially if the Bengals take Jamar Chase from LSU at 5. So keep an eye on that. What about Rashawn Slater from Northwestern? Some consider him the top tackle in the draft, even over Sewell. So you're saying the Broncos have a right tackle in Ja'Wuan James. They do. They just don't know what they're going to get from him in year 3. He's only played 63 snaps. Dalton Reisner told me recently Ja'Wuan James is looking forward to playing this upcoming year, but until we see him practice, we don't know. So if Slater or Sewell is there at 9, maybe the Broncos go tackle. They could still go corner with Patrick Surtain. I mean, Patrick Surtain, you don't need a corner? Well, Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callahan could be gone after this year, especially if Coach Fangio's not around. So corner's not completely off the board. I still think you got to look for the Broncos to trade back, pick up a 2nd or 3rd rounder, add more depth to this roster, help their special teams, and they could get a pass rusher in that draft by trading back in the 1st round. But again, the number 1 guy on the board for me, if you stay at 9, would be Micah Parsons from Penn State. For Denver 7, I'm Troy Rank.